So while many Sooner fans are excited about the outlook for the class of 2024, as there's a belief amongst many that the Sooners are in a real good position for several top prospects, it's never too early to turn our attention to the future. And today, that's exactly what we need to do. Because the Oklahoma Sooners get a big win in the class of 2025 for a top 200 prospect in all of high school football, four-star wide receiver Gracen Harris out the state of Texas. Today, we need to break this down. We need to talk about why this is such a big win, what this means for Oklahoma, and what about this really stands out to me and why I think OU needs to be excited. Before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited that the Oklahoma Sooners land Harris? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. We're on a push to 20,000 subscribers. I'd love to have you a part of this unbelievable community. And finally, if you like the content, be sure to like and comment down below. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And first and foremost, we have got to answer the question, who is Gracen Harris? Well, Gracen Harris, as I stated in the intro, is a top 200 prospect in all of high school football, regardless of position, in the class of 2025. He plays his high school football for Enos High School in Enos, Texas, and specifically comes in as the number 188 player in the nation, the number 25 wide receiver, and the number 32 player in the state of Texas. And this is commitment number 2 for Oklahoma's 2025 class, joining quarterback Kevin Sperry, who also ranks as a top 300 prospect in the class of 2025. So what does this mean for Oklahoma's 2025 class? Well, it's way too early for us to really start looking ahead, but this is commitment number 2, and it does land them in the top 5 recruiting classes of our way too early 2025 rankings. So it's always great to start with a great foundation for your future recruiting classes. Nobody in their right mind would argue this, and I'm sure the Oklahoma Sooners are going to be feverish in both pursuing Gracen Harris till the end and Kevin Sperry. So this is a great addition. But what does this mean in terms of what does Gracen Harris bring to the Oklahoma Sooners? And this is where it gets really exciting. Because Gracen Harris for Enos, well, he does it all. He's active in special teams. He's active in the screen game. He's active in the long game. They move him from inside to outside. This is the type of wide receiver that does everything for an offense. And if you had to ask me one word to describe Gracen Harris, playmaker. Because when he gets the ball in his hands, good things tend to happen. No matter what he's asked to do, whether it's a short screen, he has the ability to take it the distance. Whether it's a long ball, he's got the ability to high point a football. And for someone who's 5'10", 170 pounds per 24/7 Sports, that's impressive to see, especially as a sophomore. He's going into his junior season, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Gracen Harris. I'm super interested to see how he continues to grow and how he continues to develop. But as I stated in the intro, there's something else about this that really stands out to me, and a reason why, if I was an Oklahoma Sooner fan, I'd be really excited about the future, and that's your new wide receiver coach, Emmett Jones. Because though Emmett Jones has not been there long, he has been real active in recruiting, and this is something we talked about whenever the Oklahoma Sooners hired Emmett Jones. But since getting there, he's now added Gracen Harris, KJ Daniels, Zion Kearney, and those are just recruiting wins. Not to mention Brennan Thompson and Andrell Anthony, and on top of that, OU is in a fantastic position for one of the top prospects in the class of 2024, 5-star wide receiver out the state of Texas, Bryant Wesco. So Emmett Jones, though he hasn't been there long, has already made a profound impact for the Oklahoma Sooners. The Sooners wide receiver room is a position group where they're going to address, and I haven't been surprised at all, they've hit the portal to try and find guys that can come in day one and contribute. We've talked about this before, that though I like some of the pieces in Oklahoma's wide receiver room, specifically Jaleel Farouk, I've talked about him at length. I love how Lebby utilized him. They asked him to do everything in this Oklahoma offense, and personally, when I go back and watch Oklahoma's season from last year, I get more and more impressed with Farouk, and it gives me more and more faith that not only is he going to be able to be a real key piece for Oklahoma in 2023, but he's going to allow other wide receivers to really flourish because of how much attention defenses are going to have to give to him. Because Lebby utilizes him and moves him around so much, he's impossible to ignore. And you can get someone caught up in some eye candy and get a guy such as Drake Stoops, Brennan Thompson, Andrell Anthony, Nate Anderson, Jaden Gibson. You can get those guys open. So this is going to be super interesting to see what Emmett Jones does with these wide receivers with Jeff Lebby now that he's there. But he has been really active in getting wins for this Oklahoma wide receiver room, so that in the future, they have guys they have total faith in. And there's a name that Oklahoma hasn't had step on campus yet that I think is going to be a real big spark for this wide receiver room, and that, of course, is Jaquez Petaway, the top wide receiver in the class of 2023. So this is going to be a lot of fun to watch, what this continues to mean for the Oklahoma Sooners, but they have attacked the wide receiver position, and that's in thanks to Emmett Jones. And yes, Brent Venables has made several great hires. We've talked about it time and time again. But Emmett Jones is coming in here and making his presence known. He has been impossible to ignore, and I'm super intrigued to see what the future means. But as I already stated, Oklahoma is in a real good position for a 5-star wide receiver, Bryant Wesco, in the class of 2024. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch what happens going forward. But if I was an Oklahoma fan, I'd be very excited about the good work Emmett Jones has been able to put in on the trail. But I can't wait to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. This is a big-time win for Oklahoma, even though it's in the future, and even though 2025, it's going to be a long time before pen hits paper for that class. I have no doubt that Emmett Jones, Brent Venables, Jeff Lebby will continuously recruit these guys in Gracen Harris and Kevin Sperry, and that they're going to try and foster those relationships. We talk at length about how Oklahoma staff is great at fostering these relationships. I think that's going to be something that only continues once these guys are committed, but I'm super interested in hearing from all of you. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.